Well, hello, glorious people of the interwebs, and welcome back to Red Dead Online. Today we're going to be showcasing something that will really help you level up, get XP, items, treasure maps, and all that good stuff you want in Red Dead Online extremely easy. Now, this is a method that's been around since about December of last year in one form or another, and we're going to explain exactly how this works and why it's a good bit of information to know about Red Dead Online, because not only will it help you with the methods we're going to showcase in today, but it will help you gain a better understanding of how Red Dead Online works, and it can be used in various different aspects of the game, and hopefully more so in the future. Now, today we're going to be showing you a specific route that I like to use, and I showcased this a long time ago for a way to farm ambushes, hideouts, and now you can also use it to farm dynamic events at the same time. Now, what you're going to be doing is using a method that takes advantage of the game's way of spawning things in on the map. For those of you that don't know, the game does not like to spawn stuff within your field of vision. I assume this is a way of, like, you know, basically refraining from de-immersing people, and a lot of people complain about pop-ins in many games, and this is one of the ways that the system actually makes it so things don't usually pop in your field of vision. So what the game will do is it'll spawn things behind you or way in front of you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running along this path that I've showcased before to make the game spawn in ambushes, dynamic events, and hideouts so that you can farm them. Jeez, you know, you could go around me, people. So what we're going to do is you're going to put a marker basically all the way up here, and you're going to set your horse to run there automatically in the cinematic view. Now, before we do this, I actually want to see if the cougar is here. Way back in the day, back in December, a lot of people, it's kind of like superstition, or really, I don't know what you want to call it, but originally this was showcased where you can force spawn hideouts with a cougar on the back of your horse. Now, I can't really confirm nor deny if this actually works. I've done this plenty of times without it. But since there happened to be a cougar here, I suppose we could showcase it with the cougar on the back. I think it has to be a perfect cougar, and this is not going to be a perfect cougar. Anyways, let's put it out of its misery. But we can do this without it. I believe it was showcased originally with a perfect cougar. We don't actually need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into cinematic mode. We're going to follow this trail. Now, what's going to happen is when we're in cinematic mode, we want to go into the menu. That way, the game can freely spawn things in front of us, to the side of us, and behind us. Now, this is going to stand a chance to spawn the ambush that's right here. There's going to be a dynamics event that can spawn here. There's going to be a hideout that can spawn here. You're going to get wolves that will often spawn every single time you run through here. So pay attention to that. They will always be there. And then you also can spawn the hideout that's here. Now, keep in mind, when you're doing this, you can't spawn any individual event 2 times in a row. So you can't just farm the same thing. So if you get this hideout to come, you need to spawn this one in before this one will spawn again. If you get a dynamic event to spawn in, it'll basically have to wait till it resets, because there is another dynamic event over here that might reset this one. I'm not 100% sure about it. And the same thing goes for the ambush. So you stand a chance to get about 2 things to spawn on this route while you're running across. And you do need to stay in this map the entire time, or else the method won't work, because what the game needs to do is it needs to be able to spawn things in, and if you're looking in the direction that you're going, then it won't actually spawn. Now, sometimes these hideouts will spawn as you're approaching them, or they'll spawn when you're moving away from them, so just keep an eye out on the map, and eventually it's going to pop up as you're passing by it or running towards it. And there we go, it spawned as we were passing by it. So this does in fact work, and you do not need to be in a solo lobby for this to actually work for you. But one thing I do want to say is that if there are other people in the area, there's a chance that they already spawned in the particular thing that you're trying to do. So it could pose issues if there are other players. Now, one thing I recommend if you don't want to do the solo lobby glitch is to just switch sessions until there's nobody in the particular area that you're trying to do this in. And this is not the only path to do this. I will post a link to the actual map of all the... Oh my god! of all the events and stuff like this, but you do stand a chance of getting treasure maps and decent items from doing this as well. Wow! I just got lit up. That was a little embarrassing, but you will have to loot all the bodies to obviously get the chance for the treasure map. The treasure maps don't drop just from the leaders. They do stand a chance of dropping from anybody at the hideout. So make sure that you loot as many people as you can. Take advantage of using Paint It Black to get, holy Jesus, additional XP and stuff like that as well. Because you want to take advantage of as many different ways to get XP in these as possible. And you will get bonus XP for things like Eyes Wide Shut and using Deadeye and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind when you're farming these up and make sure to loot all the bodies. That being said, I do have issues with the current looting system. I feel like they're really not worthwhile. I'm hoping that Rockstar will buff looting people just a little bit, at least especially in hideouts and stuff like that. To make it more worthwhile. Because if you're fighting a gang, chances are they've been robbing and they probably have some money on them and stuff like that. No, I have noticed that it does seem to have been buffed a little bit. Sometimes you'll get like that 12 cents in a dynamite like I did, and other times you'll get like a decent item and loot almost like $1 off of some of these. And then other ones will have like 8 cents and nothing else. So it definitely seems a little unbalanced. Like that one we got a gold pocket watch and 84 cents. And then from another person, we'll just get 8 cents. So I really hope that Rockstar makes it like, you know, the bare minimum, like 50 cents from a person, I think would make doing hideouts and stuff a lot better. But this system definitely takes advantage of the way the game spawns things in. So it's not a glitch, it's not an exploit. It's just the way the game is intended to run. So if you're trying to farm hideouts, it won't farm if people are in the area and looking at it, which I think is a major issue. But I do understand that they don't want things to pop in like that, so this will really help with hunting as well. If you're trying to farm an area for a certain type of animal, if you're just staring at where they spawn, they won't actually spawn in. So going into your map or walking away and then turning around will actually cause things to spawn in the particular area that you're in. So this information will actually really help you a lot in different aspects of the game. And if, you know, collector and trader and all sorts of stuff require things you spawn in for your job, this will actually help you with that as well. Just make sure to loot as much as you can. I know the drop ratio for the maps isn't very high, so if you're only looking for XP, then really you might not want to even bother looting stuff. Now, thankfully, if you don't get the hideouts to spawn, or if you're waiting for one to be off a cooldown or what have you, the dynamic event here is still another good option to be farming up. Let's see here. Let's switch to something a little bit more better for this, shall we? So many weapons. They really need to put like an armory locker or something where you can store weapons so you don't have to cycle through 15 billion. Oh my god. But, it's definitely a good way to farm up XP. Now, you can also get treasure maps from these dynamic events. I don't know what the drop ratio... Am I still having... Oh, that's another shotgun. I don't even know what I have equipped now. I have so many weapons, I can't even keep track of them. I am gonna die, however, again. Sometimes these dynamic events can actually be kind of difficult. No, this is actually a repeater. I think it's a dirty repeater, though. It sounds dirty. Little bit. Alright, calm down, horse. You'll be alright, boy. You'll be alright. Yikes. Apparently I forgot how to play Red Dead Online for a hot second. There we go. I kind of wish there was a lot more variety to the dynamic events, though. They're kind of like the most simplistic possible version that a dynamic event could be. And I don't know why you have to, like, go through some kind of weird loading screen afterwards. That doesn't make any sense either. Hopefully they fix that and add some variety to them. But you can still get quite a bit of XP. Now, I do kind of think that there might be some sort of... I want to see how much money and stuff we got for it. Not a lot. Okay. Like proximity for the hideout respawn. Because if I get this one to spawn, sometimes this one spawns, but more often than not, it doesn't. So I'm curious if there is some kind of proximity. Although if you do run into somebody else running along the same route, then you're going to have issues where, you know, they'll both be on cooldown and stuff like that. So, I don't really recommend doing the solo lobby glitch because I do think that it adds to the, issues with the servers as a whole. Now, that is, at the end of the day, a fault of Rockstar's for not really having the best servers in the world. Not even close to the best. Below average servers, notoriously, for basically anything a Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive in general. I really wish that they would improve and, either get different server providers or upgrade or something to make it a little bit better. Especially in 2019, like... you gotta step up your game when it comes to online content, because people just don't want to put up with it. It was okay when internet was garbage back in the day. You could blame it on the internet connection, but now that's not really an issue for most people. I just got myself into a troll hunting party, and we're able to clear out one of the trolls. The other one decided to parlay and start killing other people, which is kind of unfortunate. I do wish Rockstar would fix that, but the method is very simple for forcing these things into spawn, but it's also a really good use of information for how the game works for future things in the game as well. So if anything needs to spawn in the game, this is going to be a method that will allow it to spawn in more often by making sure that you're not looking in the direction that you're trying to get things to spawn in on. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, I do want to say that obviously this method will be the best in a solo lobby. I almost choked on my own air. Good lord. But it will work better in a solo lobby because if there are other people in the area, it won't work as good. So, unfortunately, I don't have any tutorials on the solo lobby because I do think that, in a way, it does contribute to the extreme lag and issues with servers. Now, that does come on a fault of Rockstar of not having the best servers in the world to begin with. So there's a lot of issues that go into that. But regardless, if you want to have this method work the best, do it in a solo lobby and do not try and spawn in the same one multiple times. You will need to go to a new... basically dynamic event, ambush, or hideout, and get that one to spawn, and you can go back to the other one, and it will work. Unfortunately, I can't find where this guy is, because usually when a troll parlays, what I like to do is just continuously run them over with the horse so they can't troll somebody else, even with the parlay. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.